Hey friends, my name's Aaron Ciotti. Everybody calls me Ciotti. Welcome to the show. It's Whoop Wednesday. That was the 2-inch. It's basically a Mobula 804. There is no such a thing, but if there was a Mobula 804, it would be that. It's a Mobula 8, which there is such a thing, with, you'll never guess what I'm going to say next, with an 04 VTX and camera on top. It's the Mobula 8 frame and the 1103 11,000 kV motors 2S. That was a Flywoo 2S 420 mAh battery, not BT3.0, XT30. And it continues to absolutely melt my brain. It's just really, really good. The 04 system, the range and like the stability and just it not exploding. I would usually not fly a tinywhoop in that way because like with analog, you don't get that kind of range. It's not necessarily that much fun, right? but boy, oh boy, without that kind of range, when you fly bigger like that, you can't go far enough for it to really like make sense. But now on digital, yeah, super fun. This 2-inch build, it's plugged in right now, so I can't show you to, but it looks just like this. It's got the Happy Model 04 canopy, which you can't get yet, but you should be able to get soon. I'm just so impressed by it. And I flew the 1.6-inch build today. So that was me waiting for Florence to get out of therapy. I had about an hour. And I just sat in the car and just ripped around the parking lot. And it was an absolute blast. Come to think of it. I had to stop flying because the Goggles 2 battery went all the way dead. And so that was kind of annoying. Just like on a whim, as I was walking out the door, I grabbed... I didn't have any batteries charged. I didn't have any BT 3.0 batteries charged. But then I remembered that, you know, with the Vi-Flies, you can just hook up a 6S battery to them. You can just hook up any old, like, 4S, 5S, 6S, XT60 battery to them. And I've got this one battery that has a cell that's a little bit hurt. And so it just sits in a little LiPo fire bag over there. It's like my bench battery. And I knew that it had some charge in it, so I grabbed that, transmitter, goggles, Vi-Fly Toothstor, threw it all in the bag, grabbed 2 BT 3.0 and 2 XT30 batteries, and in the car, on the drive there, just plugged everything in, got the batteries charging. By the time I got there, they were charged, and I flew, and it was awesome. I forgot that you can do that so easily. That and it like reminded me that is yet another of the incredible things about tiny whooping is like you don't have to, you know, decide an hour ahead of time that you want to put all your batteries on the big boy charger and hopefully they don't burn the house down and blah 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 blah. Yes, you have to have a battery charge to charge up the Vi-Fly, but what I think I'm going to do, I have an 18650 long range ish 6S battery. I think I'm just going to grab that guy and keep it charged all the time. Not like all the way charged, but like leave it at like 4 volts per cell. They're 18650s. I don't think they get hurt by leaving them charged in the same way that LiPos do. And so, yeah, Denzel the Terrible says, could you plug the Toothstor into the car USB? I doubt it. The Toothstor needs a big boy USB plugged into it, and my car is a 2013, so I doubt that it would push hard enough. But that's I will at least try it. I will at least give that a try, because that would be even cooler. That would almost make it worth it to get like a second Toothstor and just leave it in the car. Yo! Imagine you're so much of an FPV nerd that you custom build a tiny whoop charger into your car. I'm not going to do that. But you should. CXBFPV says lithium-ion batteries don't care if they're fully charged for a long time. I thought so. You know, they put 18650 lithium-ion cells in like all kinds of shit. You know, like these the little battery banks. Most of the little battery banks that we have that exist are 18650 cells. All my Milwaukee tool batteries, those are just big old packs of 18650s, and you leave them charged all the time. It's the way that I think about it is that batteries that don't have a mega discharge rate, right, which 18650s are exactly that, they're not super, they're not like hand grenades waiting to go off. And so you can do things like leaving them fully charged without them getting ruined. Hey, on tonight's live stream, I'm going to be giving away these two 300 mAh BT3.0 tinywhoop batteries. And we're going to be kind of doing this in the honor system. Huge shout out to Jesse from tinywhoop for sending me a bunch of these. He's got a whole bunch more on the way. He's got all of these BT3.0 batteries on the way. The short cable, the long cable 450s, and loads of these 300s. And so you'll be able to buy these, but I messaged Jesse after I missed. He found a couple extra of these batteries and put them in stock on the website, and you guys snagged them all super quick. And I messaged him. I was like, "Oh my god, dude, I'm dying. I had one of mine die. I over discharged it, and its cell dropped." And I messaged him. I'm like, "Man, I'm dying trying to do all this testing on just 3 of those batteries. You don't happen to have like 1 or 2 floating around, do you?" And he's like, "Yeah, man, I'll hook you up." And he sent me 5. He sent me 5 of these batteries, and he didn't even charge me for it. I already have 3 that are good to go that I originally ordered way back when. And so I felt bad like hoarding all 5 of the ones that he sent me, and I know that a whole bunch of you guys are dying for these batteries. And so I thought that the most fair possible thing to do would be a giveaway. But here's where the honor system needs to come in. If you don't have a build that's just waiting for this, I don't want you to get in on this giveaway. Please don't do that. There's a bunch of guys that literally have full builds just sitting waiting for these batteries, and they've been waiting for over a month for these to come back in stock. I've been talking these batteries up for a few months now, and so those are the folks that I want to get in the giveaway. All right, don't be a jerk. He's got these coming. If you don't have a full build ready, just waiting for this battery, just wait, because by the time you get your parts in for that build, these will be back in stock on his website. This is not a get yourself 2 free batteries. This is there's a bunch of guys dying for these, and yeah, I thought it would be super cool. I didn't like run this by Jesse or anything like that. He sent these to me, for me to use. But I don't need all 5 of these. I grabbed 3 of the 5 that he sent me, and I put those with the 3 that I already had. 6 is the perfect number. And so, yeah, this is for the bunch of you guys that have been bugging the shit out of me, asking me if I have any inside information whatsoever about when these are going to be back in stock. And you're sending me pictures of the build, just waiting for it, and all that. Cool. We're going to do the giveaway at about 11 o'clock, so like 40-ish minutes from now. Douglas6 was first in the chat every day with Bruno, Craig Doubles FPV Render, King Dingaling, Douglas6, Frank Nicholas, Bitterroot, McMucus, Spaceman Spiff, Flycadelic, BMO's Ride and Grind. Speaking of BMO's Ride and Grind, Maggie and I went back to Hattie B's again last night. Because we just can't get enough, man. If you've got a Hattie B's near you, get your ass over there. Whoo boy. They got fucking Coca-Cola slushies that the machine will automatically put either Jack Daniels or Sailor Jerry's in. Need I say more? Their food is also unbelievable. They've got another slushy machine with lemonade, and I think it'll put either vodka or something else in it. They also make painkillers, which is one of my favorite drinks from when I used to live in Charleston, actually. It's, I want to say it's coconut rum. The flavors in it are coconut, pineapple, a little bit of orange juice-ish, ground nutmeg on top, and then I think it's coconut rum that gives it the coconut flavor. They're awesome. Those of you that know what a painkiller is, you'll know how good it is. Yeah, they make those there. It's a fantastic place. There's 2 of them in downtown Atlanta. I think they're from I think there's a bunch up in Tennessee. If there's one near you, go. Or if they open one near you, go. For God's sakes, go. If you want the gangliest of ganglies to read your name in chat, you got to come in early. That's the only way. Sometimes I read all the names. Maggie and I started watching Ted Lasso tonight. Holy shit. What a show. Is this done copying? All right, there we go. All right. That's good to go. I can now unplug this Mobula 804. This is what I was flying at the beginning of the stream. We're going to look at a bunch of flight footage of this versus this in pretty substantial wind. I was really blown away today at the difference between these two in wind that was swirling is really where it became super obvious. The wind that was hitting those buildings and jiggling all about. I am so blown away by the performance. Like I was saying earlier, I'm so blown away by the performance of this 2-inch build that if I don't leave these two together, and I only go with one of these, it very well might be the 2-inch build. I cannot believe I'm saying this, but the 1.6-inch build is unbelievable, especially with the BT3.0 1102s on it. But it's light. It's very lightweight. The 2-inch build is like 20 grams heavier, and in the wind, that makes a big difference. And like the flying that I'm gravitating towards with these two things is like bigger flying, and I find myself in the wind more than I thought. And so it's crazy. I can't believe I'm saying this, but I think I might prefer the 2-inch build. With the caveat of I've got a bunch of other 2S 1.6-inch builds, namely the analog ones. And so, like, if I want to fly out in front of the house and, like, duck and weave in between the branches of the bushes and shit, the analog rigs do that so much better, and they're the perfect tool for that kind of flying. The 1.6-inch 04 build, because of the extra latency and because of the extra weight, it's just not as good doing that. And then so I end up like the answer might be get good scrub. But what I find myself doing is flying it bigger, like not ducking into those tiny little spots. And then when I start to fly it bigger, the 2-inch rig's better. So it's wild. I couldn't bring myself. So we're doing mailbag tonight as well. The package from BT3.0 finally got here, and in here is what is the AIO that I need for the 1S 04 build. I decided in a fit of rage not to. I want to get this build done soon, maybe like on Friday. And I love the way that this 75mm 1.6-inch prop build flies. And I said, you know what? Well, so here's the other thing that happened. There's apparently a problem that I'm starting to hear about with the 04 VTX where during crashes, it'll shut down and the screen and you lose video, and it doesn't come back until you cycle the power of the quad. And that happened to me today. And so one of my 04s does not do that. The other one all of a sudden started doing it. Could it totally be a fluke because it only did it one time? Absolutely. But when stuff like this starts to happen, it usually doesn't just happen once, right? And so in a fit of rage, I ordered another 04 Lite. I also realized that, like, having another 04... I'm going to have this 1S RC drift car chasing build. I'm going to have one of these builds. Man, I left a hell of a mark on my forehead, huh? It makes a lot of sense to have a third 04 Lite floating around for if I want to do like an ultra lightweight 3-inch, no prop guard build, right? Like, it just kind of makes sense. And so I jumped on Get FPV. They have them in stock, and just ordered one about an hour ago. So I'm not going to be pulling these things apart, which is also really nice because I can keep flying these two to keep like really dialing in on like, I mean, I know I'm so happy with this Mobula 804. This is, I think, good to go. I've crashed the shit out of it, and this frame has been totally fine. It's not breaking in the spots where people have told me that it's going to break. The performance is awesome. The motor prop combo feels great. It's just like, I think this is just done. Like, I don't know if there's any real improvement to be made here. Like, I'm probably going to test some different motors, but Jesus, these 1103s are incredible. And so, like, the only thing I can maybe think of is to get it off of XT30 and get it onto BT3.0. But, like, I don't know, man. These Flywoo 420 mAh XT30 batteries are really good. Here are the tinywhoop 450s. Oh, they fit really nicely in that battery bay, though. Let me weigh these two batteries. This is what will really decide whether or not that happens. The Flywoo 420 mAh2S batteries, I'm getting over 3 minutes blasting around with these. And so that's like perfect. 21 grams. And then the tinywhoop 450, 24.75 grams. So yeah, 450 mAh versus 420 mAh. But look, 420 gives me the runtime that I want. And this battery is lighter. I would not go down to a 300 mAh battery on this thing. And so this is the perfect battery for it as far as I'm concerned. Like, they sell these Flywoo 420s in 2-packs. They're fairly inexpensive. I'll get 2 more of these, and it's just done. And it's basically a bind. It's almost a bind. I mean, first of all, Happy Model will probably make exactly this. They don't today. Today they make the Mobula 704, which is the center section of this on a slightly smaller frame with slightly smaller motors and slightly smaller props. They'll probably make this, though. And so, like, you should get one. If they make this, I mean, the Mobula 704 is really, really good. But, like, if they make this Mobula 804, I can't find anything wrong with it. It's not going to come with a micro V antenna, so you can do that, and you'll feel like you modified it. Maybe it won't come with these Tri-Blade 2023 props, and you can switch these on and feel like you did something. Other than that, it's, like, done. This performs stupidly well. Like, I can't think of many, if any, things to do to this to make it, like, a custom build. I can't think of a reason to custom build this. Just wait for them to sell it and just buy one of the things. Very weird that there's a bind and fly that's so good that I'm just like, yeah, don't custom build this formula here. Just wait for them to make it. But hey, I mean, we've been the days of absolutely needing to custom build to get the best possible performance have been gone for a while. I flew these two 2S450s. We're going to see that on the flight footage that's copying right now. It's done copying. All right, cool. So let me just trash that. And I can unplug this guy. All right, cool. So yeah, let's dive in, and while we're talking about it, let's compare these two things. We got a little bit of time to kill. We got a half an hour to kill before the giveaways. I'll explain the giveaways again once we get a little bit closer. So, all right. At the beginning of the live stream, we watched the 2-inch flight footage. I'm gonna play that again dead last here. We're gonna watch all of the 1.6-inch footage. So this is what you're about to watch. This is a Mobula 7 V3 frame, Beta FPV 1102 18,000 kV motors on GemFan 1610 biblades, motor limited down to 80%. This is the BetaFPV 12 amp AIO, DJI 04 ORT micro V antenna, BT 3.0 going through the back of the frame in this brilliant little way. The Happy Model canopy for the 04, and the tinywhoop 2S 450 mAh long cable BT 3.0 batteries. I think I lost one of the flight files because of the weird crash that rebooted this thing, but there are 3 flight files here, which is kind of interesting. Let me see real quick. 2.55. How big is this file? 2 gigabytes, 2.66 gigabytes, 1.52. I can tell you that the runtime on these 450 BT 3.0 batteries is nuts. We will take... I'm going to pop out the memory card from these goggles too here, and while I'm playing this flight footage on the one monitor, I'll look up what the runtime was on these batteries, but I think it's knocking on the door of like 4 minutes of runtime with me like pushing pretty hard. So let me just open this window on the other screen here, and I'll kind of take a look at that while this is running. So that's what you're about to watch here. This is the 1.6 inch rig, heavy, right? These batteries are way heavier than the 300s. You would not necessarily want to do this, but what I want you guys to look at is how this thing is handling in the wind. It doesn't look like there's much wind, but there is. Like, you know, these trees are all sticks, so you can't really see it. That is the wind. That the PID tune is pretty aggressive. I actually... Throughout the course of these batteries, I kept nudging the PID tune up a little bit more to try to better deal with this. But, you know, the smaller the rig, the harder of a time it's going to have in the wind. There's not a whole hell of a lot you can do about that. So let me let this play a little bit here. And like I said, on the other monitor, I'm trying to take a look at what the runtime was. So, like, this is the very first battery. So let me fast forward all the way to the end. Yeah, all right. So when the crash happened, I was at 1 minute and 30. All right. And then so it splits into the next file. And now in the next file, I continued to fly that battery. And I did another 1 minute and 30, so 3 minutes. That was actually a failsafe. I flew way behind the building. I still had crystal clear video when that failsafed. I need to turn my ELRS up. I think I already have it. I only have it on 100 milliwatts, and I've got DJI 04 on 200 milliwatts. All right, so that's that. Yeah, so I did lose a flight file. This, I believe, is the next battery. So we got 3 minutes of runtime, but the battery was still at 3.6 volts. And then I flew... This was the 2-inch rig, I believe, here. I'm on the other monitor again. Just kind of taking a quick look. Yeah, so this was the 2-inch battery. And so then here's the last 1.6-inch battery with the 450s. Oh, you know, and this all goes out the window because these batteries weren't fully charged. This battery was only charged to 4.19. Even only being charged to 4.19, though... Oh, I stopped flying it early. Yeah, the runtimes are... This battery's only... I'm at 1 minute and 15, but it's still at 3.8. All right, so we can't really judge by the runtimes. What I can tell you, though, is that with these 450 mAh batteries, look at this thing getting the shit beat out of it by the wind. So in between those two buildings, the wind is swirling like crazy. Oh, wait, no, that was the failsafe. I don't know. That was the... Yeah, no, that was the failsafe. Look at it getting mangled, though. Look at the 1.6-inch rig just getting crushed by the wind. Big difference between these two when you're outside like this. Pushing it around, flying it big. You know, like if you fly out in front of your house, behind your house, it's not nearly as big of a deal. Like, you're flying down low. This is me going up above rooftops and doing all that kind of jazz, you know? All right, so here's the last file. Hopefully you're also going to see a difference in cruising speed. These are both on the exact same canopy, same up tilt. They have pretty similar power to ratios. There was the wind. Look at the wind push me. Look at that. This is how windy it was. Ready? Look at that. Look at it just start sliding. The wind was gnarly. It was probably like 15, 20 miles an hour wind. Especially up above the buildings. And so this is all the 75 millimeter motor to motor, 1.6 inch prop build. After this, we're going to take and it's loaded down with this big heavy 450 mAh battery too. I thought that the extra battery weight would have really helped it. But yeah, I mean the 2-inch rig is 20 full grams heavier. Look at that power loop though. I'll tell you this, with the 2S 450, good God, this thing has power. The 300 mAh 2S BT3.0 tinywhoop batteries are great, but especially on these BetaFPV 1102 motors, which are really powerful. So there's a big old hit. That was a hard crash. And that's pretty much the end. The battery ejected, and it was fine after that big hit though. That's not the hit that that hit did. Jesus fucking Christ! Oh my God, Cannon! I'm gonna light your face on fire and eat you. Yeah, with the 450 mAh 2S battery, good Lord, does it have horsepower. The 300 mAh batteries are great, but if you sit on the throttle, if you sit full throttle with them with these big powerful motors, they do sag a little bit. No worse than any other tinywhoop that you've ever flown. Come on, man. Just please. There it is. My God. What did I do to my forehead? I thought I just scratched it, but I don't know. So yeah, I was pretty impressed at how good of a job this thing did with these heavy batteries. So like, yeah, these batteries are totally viable for this thing. If you're looking for the longer runtime, the 300 mAh batteries are a better bet though. The 300 mAh batteries are the perfect match for this thing. Nice and lightweight, super nimble. You're still going to get like 3 minutes of runtime, but if you want to get 4 or 5 minutes of runtime, these 450s are going to be how you do it. I'm not going to do that with these though. These are going to be like a toothpick battery for me. So yeah, this might be the last time that I will run these batteries on this at least one more time. Because I do want to see what the runtime is going to be. I can almost guarantee you it's going to be like 5 minutes though, because they were not fully charged and I did not fly them all the way down to 3.5. So yeah, that was really impressive. This combination of parts with these BetaFPV 1102 18,000s is awesome. Absolutely fantastic. Nothing wrong with this whatsoever. But unless I can kind of like warm up to the way that thing flies and get used to the latency and get used to the extra weight for shooting the tiny little gaps in the front and backyard, it's just going to be this. And I'm going to shoot those little tiny gaps with the analog 2S builds. And then this is going to be for flying bigger. You know, ducking in and out of those trees, that's not like, that doesn't need to be cinematic, right? That's like a super freestyle kind of flying, and analog works for that. You know, like you watch analog footage, and if the flying that's happening is good enough, you kind of forget that it's analog. I do. Maybe you don't, but I do. And I'm just like, wow, that's awesome flying. And so, yeah, this is awesome. This is really, really good. Oh, here's the 2-inch flight footage. The whole bloody point. So this is the Mobula 804. You should notice just like almost more natural cruising speed for flying bigger like this. And this is the same amount of wind. This is the exact same amount of wind. I've spent a lot less time tuning this as well. The 1.6 inch rig, I've moved the tune up and down and now back up. This thing just has like a relatively simple tune on it. I mean, it's a tune that works good on like most rigs. You know, it's like the way that I tune most stuff. But still, I have not really spent much time dialing this in. Look at that. And see, we got a little bit of movement, and you can see it getting pushed around, right? So like, there's obviously still wind, right? The wind is now pushing it to the right. It's like awkwardly sliding to the right. That's because of the wind. There we got some motion there, right, on the way down. So, you know, no getting around there. Look at that. Look at the wind pushing it. Look at that, right? So this is a very windy day. And tiny whoops don't love the wind. No ducted rigs do, or ever will, right? This is the price we pay for having guards around the propellers, is that the wind becomes a significant issue. But there's about 7,000 things about having the ducts around the props that make these things amazing to live with and to fly and to actually be able to turtle mode and not break motors constantly. It was getting kicked pretty good there, right? That was kind of wobbling around. But still, like, the flight characteristics of this thing are super impressive. Super, super, super impressive. It's not so big and heavy and powerful that it's, like, obnoxious. So it's still like a little kid's toy, right? I can get away with just blasting it around the parking lot here. There was just a lady. She barely even noticed it. There's the wind really pushing me hard. I was really struggling to get to the right side of that tree. So yeah, man, in terms of like trying to find something to fly like this outside, you want to go as big as possible. And I think this is kind of it. I don't know of any like 2.5 inch tiny whoop frames. I don't really think that we would want to go that big though. I think this is really it. I think this, Happy Model 2-inch frame, maybe the HDLRC Spectre 2-inch frame. I really don't like the rubber band thing, but yeah, I think this is kind of it, man. This is really fun to fly. Really, really, really fun to fly. You can be super aggressive. You can smack into shit. You can turtle mode all the time. It does carry extra weight. It flies different than any other tiny whoop because of the extra weight and power. But when you're flying it in a scenario like this, it feels totally fine. So that was 3 minutes and 10 seconds. And that was a battery that was not like charged all the way up. It was basically like charged to 4.20. So it was like a non-HV battery. So yeah, crazy. And I mean, we could still optimize this a little bit. We could move this to a BT 3.0. Then the battery selection would be a little bit weird, right? There is no like 400 mAh battery. I kind of think, I kind of like this though on XT30 with these Flywoo 420s, like I said earlier. So yeah, crazy. I would not think that I would be falling for a 2-inch tiny whoop like this, but I think I think a lot of the magic is 04. The image quality is so good. We can get 4K 60 that looks ridiculously good. So I mean, this, like, when I do the cycling live broadcast gigs, you better fucking believe I'm bringing this, and I'm going to send a whole bunch of footage to that TV truck from this thing, weaving in and out of people, in through the pits, in through, like, there's always, like, a street party and shit, like, ducking in and out of there, in the little tents and shit. I'm sending them 20 batteries worth of flight footage from this thing before the event, in between the races, after the races. Like, this is a hell of a tool. Really, really, really impressive stuff. You know, you could slap a big old battery in here, big old 550 mAh battery in here for a whole bunch of runtime. wild stuff. So yeah, there you go. There's some tinywhoop content for that ass. What time is it? 10:45. That's from Mighty Car Mods. Go subscribe. Best car channel on YouTube. This is a package from Jason. Jason in Chicago, Illinois. This is all my BetaFPV stuff. I think that they ship to Chicago, Illinois, and then it gets reshipped. Because this, like, the tracking number did not say that it came from Chicago, Illinois. So this is my BetaFPV order that I placed in the end of January. In fairness, I did place this order right before Chinese New Year. But Chinese New Year has been over for a while. It took them a little while to ship this. But, you know, I'm sure they got 1 million orders on Chinese New Year. They've got a whole bunch of water... I don't know, they call them like water shield decals, water slide decals. They're tiny. And like, so regular decals, when you put like a regular adhesive decal onto a tinywhoop, it just ends up peeling off, right? You crash, it flexes the plastic, and they just end up coming off. These water decals, from what I remember when I was a kid, doing a couple model builds here and there, these decals, if you can get the damn things on without ripping them, they're like super flexible, and they like kind of become one with the plastic. And so, yeah, I'm hoping these will let me make these tinywhoops look even cooler. And there's a ton of these. They have 3 different sheets of these. You can only get these on their website, by the way. And so, like, this one has a ton of their logos really small. The style is really cool. Like, look at these, man. Like, put these on the ducts and shit. Make it look all futuristic. Get some numbers going, right? So they got that one. They got this one. These are absolutely tiny. So small that this dog shit-ass Logitech camera won't even focus on them. There we go. Look at that. Caution. Come on, now. You can't tell me that wouldn't make your tinywhoop look hot as shit. And then they got this giant sheet of them. Really, really, really cool. This is gonna be... Beware of blast! Look at that! Yeah. Super cool. I've never seen these for sale anywhere other than specifically on BetaFPV's website. So if you ever have to do an order direct from their website, make sure you score some of these. Because this is, you know, this is pretty slick. It looks like it's just 1 sheet per. But there's like 1 million of them on here. So we'll see. We'll see how much of a nightmare these are to work with. I remember when I was a kid, I had a hard time working with these. But, you know, when you're a kid, you have no self-control. And you think, ah! You know? So hopefully as an adult, I'll be able to figure this out. And now we have YouTube. So I can just look up, you know, water slide decal tips. And there's probably a guy out there that puts a lot of these decals on that's got a whole channel. Probably not a whole channel, but you know what I mean. There's somebody out there that has made a video with tips. These are the double BT 2.0 leads. This order is a whole bunch of stuff that you can only get on BetaFPV's website. So these are the double BT 2.0 leads so that you can run 2S with 2 1S batteries. This is super easy to make, but this bag of like 5 of them was like $2 or something. And again, you can only get this on their website, so I snagged it. I snagged another little bag of these. I bought a bag of those a long time ago when I built the tiny lifters, so we're going like a couple years back. They've got the old. They had the old school HQ YOLO props in pink, and I'd run out of them in pink, so I just got a little re-up there. They've also got a GemFan prop that I've never seen before. This is the GemFan 1511, 1.5 inch, 11 pitch. Oh, I just noticed it has a 1.5 millimeter motor shaft. That's a shame. I believe 1.5 inch is 35 millimeter, right? 35 millimeter in inches. It's not. 35 millimeters, which is the Meteor 65 Pro frame, in inches is 1.37. What the hell are these for? What has a 1.5 inch prop on it? Inch prop FPV. What on earth? Well, let me search for what this prop is called. GemFan. Oh, well, since I bought them from Beta FPV, it's probably a Beta FPV rig. 1511 is what this propeller is. Wow. That's insane. This is the 1611. This ain't it. Looks a lot like it, but... Well, is this a misprint, maybe? Hold on. Oh, shit! These are 1611s. Oh, that's a 6 on there. Okay, okay. Oh, I don't need these. Why did I buy these? 1611. Oh. Oh, 1611. This is a lower pitch version. GemFan. Here, hold on. So if we go over to GemFan, what's the 3-blade 1.6 inch prop that they've got? It's a higher pitch than this, isn't it? Multi-axis product. Multi-axis propeller. Mini... Oh, come on now. So there's the 1610. We know that one. A couple of 35s. What's the 16... So the old school 1635 tri-blade. Incredibly pitchy and not all that well balanced. Then there's this... Okay, right. 1608. Yeah, okay, so this is a new prop. 1611. So this is... They don't even have it on their website yet. Yeah, so this is a brand new prop. I bought this. Oh, there it is. I'll be damned. This is new to me. I didn't know that this prop existed. So, yeah, I'm going to try this on the 2S 1.6 inch DJI 04 build instead of the 1610s. I'm super happy with the 1610s. But let's see what it runs like with a tri-blade. Yeah, look at that. Am I blowing anyone's mind? Did anybody know that this existed? I hadn't seen this. I don't think I've seen this anywhere. And when I searched for it, it didn't come up anywhere. You know, when I searched for, let's try with the Dash 3, 1611-3. Flywoo's got a 1611. That's interesting. Is it just a rebrand? No, it's different. It's got that silly hub design. There it is on Beta FPV. Oh, okay. So I just didn't get the memo. I don't know. This is news to me. I didn't know this existed, but apparently it's on Pyrodrone, so it has been out there. But yeah. It looks like Pyrodrone's the only one that sells it. So cool. A low pitch, lightweight, hopefully really well balanced 1.5 millimeter shaft tri-blade. I dig it. Looks like I got them in smoke crotch gray as well. Look at me. I know things. I bought a second pack of these little double BT 2.0 jib jabs. Maybe I'll sell some of these on the Etsy store. Lots of stuff on the Etsy store. A bunch of stuff just went out of stock, actually. I had to reorder. They're coming back in. These are my 04 HD canopies with the crazy little rubber bastards and the wacky camera mounting soft mount setup. Oh my god, it's 3 pieces. So it's this piece to go around the camera, and then it's this piece that gets screwed into the canopy, and then the little rubber baby buggy bumpers go in between both of these guys. So this will be going on to one of these 2 rigs, one or the other, to test to see if we can run rock steady on one of these tiny whoops. We should be able to. A bunch of people have been already. But still, this will be cool. It'll be cool to see what that's like. I don't necessarily think it's worth it. I think that the best setup is going to be just using the Happy Model canopy to hard mount the camera so that you don't have any jello issues. And then if you want your footage to be smooth, just fly smooth, right? More expo on your rates, more stick smoothing through. Easiest way to do that is with a preset, but it's in the receiver tab, and away you go. So yeah, this is the main reason why I did this order. But the other reason I did this order is this AIO. This is the 1S kind of 04 specific, basically, AIO that they make. Wow, I'm not even going to have to solder on a battery lead. It comes with a 180-degree battery lead already on it. So, yeah, whenever this extra 04 light comes in, we're going to be doing a build here with this in a black Cockroach 65 V3 frame with, I'm not sure what motors, probably 0702 36,000 kV motors. Crom made a version of the Batwing, no duct in view mount. Although, technically we don't even need that mount. I could use one of these. But see, what I like about the Batwing mount is that it puts the camera low and all the way up front. And that actually really does help me when I'm really close to the ground. I've flown a bunch. I've chased those RC drift cars with regular tiny whoops before. And I find that I hit the ground a lot more often because the camera is here and then the bottom of the rig is like almost a full inch lower than the camera lens. I like having the camera in the middle from the standpoint of more efficiency. It makes all 4 motors do this basically the same amount of work. When you push the camera all the way up front, it kind of overloads the front, and the front motors have to do some extra work. But yeah, Crom made a version of the Batwing for the 04 camera. I'll probably still do that. I'll probably still put the camera up front, but now I'm all torn. I did get 2 of these canopies. I could totally use one of the black canopy for this guy. I will overthink that and get back to you. We're not doing that tonight. But yeah, excited to see how bad 1S is with the 04 system. I mean, I already know. All of the Walk Snail 1S builds that I still have are going to be exactly the same. A tiny little bit better because Walk Snail is like 1 gram lighter. There you go. That's that's what my mailbag looks like. It's shriveled. It's terrible. Don't make fun of me for it. So yeah, lots of cool stuff. And it's 10:59, and just like that, it's time to do the impossible to find Tiny Whoop 2S 300 mAh BT 3.0 giveaway. Again, this is a giveaway for those of you that have builds that just need these batteries. If you do not have a build that's ready to go and you're thinking about doing a build that uses these batteries, don't enter. These batteries are coming in. They are on their way. There will be a ton of these for sale. You will be able to buy these. I've been getting a lot of messages over the last month from people who have this build or the analog version of this build. They have one of these Mobula 7 V3 framed builds with BT 3.0, and they just need these 300 mAh batteries, and they're absolutely desperate for them. So please don't enter this giveaway if that's not you. This is not a paid giveaway. This is a, like, I'm going to tell you guys when, and you're going to put your names into the chat, and I'm going to dump them on the wheel, or into the thing, and then, so this is only for those, and you're going to have to pay me $5 for shipping. Shipping is like $4.63, so fair warning, you are going to have to pay, but this is not a normal giveaway, like I do the first Monday of every month. So, in the chat right now, I want you to type, "For the love of God, I've been waiting for these batteries." And that's how you enter. If I find out that you don't have a build, look, all right, here you go. When you get these batteries, you have to hook them up to your build and take a picture of that build with these batteries. Otherwise, you will be shamed. Fair warning. If you win these and you do not send me a picture, I will have the tracking. I will track these. If I see that the tracking shows that they're delivered, that next live stream, if I do not have a picture from you that you send to me in Discord or email me or whatever over on CiottiFPV.com, there's a million ways you can get in touch with me. If I do not have a picture of these batteries plugged into a build that's been waiting for these batteries, I will shame the shit out of you. I'm serious. Like, this is for the people that have been waiting for these batteries forever. Okay? That's why I'm doing this. Jesse sent me these batteries to use, but he sent a whole bunch of these batteries. He sent me more of these than I need. I could absolutely keep them, but I feel bad that I've been telling you guys how amazing these batteries are for months now, and you haven't been able to buy them. And I've gotten plenty of messages from those of you that, yeah, have been asking over and over and over again when these... tag me. You have to tag me. So if you've already, I see a bunch of you have already typed it. You have to type CiottiFPV. For the love of God, I've been waiting for these batteries. And I'm dead serious. If you do not take a picture of the drone that is built right now with this battery plugged into it, when I see that the tracking shows these being delivered, you will be shamed. McMucus is speaking in tongues. You good, brother? You all right? All right, so it starts now. Mario Beans is the first one. Huge shout out to Jesse from tinywhoop for sending these. I would not be able to do this if he hadn't been so incredibly generous with sending me these batteries. So, you know, I'm just the messenger here. If you want to give anyone a thank you for this giveaway, it's over on tinywhoop.com. Go buy something, right? Mario Beans is the first one. Hopefully McMucus is actually typing in Spanish and it's not just like YouTube randomly changing the language or whatever. All right, Mario Beans. And like, if you have like 4 of these batteries and you want to have 6 total, no, this is not for you. This is for the people that have a full built rig and no batteries to run on it. You know what I'm saying? Adam Weston is next. Great Scott. I'm trusting you guys. I'm kind of trusting you. McMucus didn't tag me, but I'll let him get away with it. McMucus, I got you. Dead Stiff. I have the part in the way, but I won't enter the giveaway ordering the Lava 550 mAh to wait. If you've been waiting for these, Yannick, feel free to enter, man. PD Puff is next. For the record, these are not the right battery for a 2-inch build. These are the right battery for a 1.6-inch build. 75mm motor to motor, 1.6. These will not run right on a 2-inch rig. These will sag like crazy. This is for the Mobula 7 V3. I want to see a Mobula 7 V3 or V4 frame in that picture you sent me. Do I have Dead Stiff on here? I have Dead Stiff on here. PD, I got you. Technique. Putting you on here. No, Danzilla. No. ORF-FPV, I'm going to assume that you're not looking to get in this giveaway, Danzilla. If you want to get on this giveaway, you have to type the right thing, for the record. ORF-FPV says, how do the 450 BT3.0 and BetaFPV batteries compare to the tinywhoop? To my knowledge, these tinywhoop 2S BT3.0 batteries are the only ones that are folded cell. So they're lighter and they outperform all of the other ones. The BetaFPV 450 mAh BT3.0 batteries are stupidly heavy. Stupid heavy. Moss1 says, for the love of God. Alright, Moss1, I'm not entering you. Because you didn't type the thing the way it needs to be typed. Looks like Cinestyles. He forgot to tag me, but I just happened to see it. Cinestyles. Everybody gets it, right? Andres says, who the heck does a build with no batteries? For like 3 or 4 months, I've been telling all these guys how amazing the build is that runs with these batteries. And everybody assumed that they would just pop back in stock one day, and they just have not come back in stock. All right, Mick, I got you on here. Yannick says, frame is coming from AliExpress, so I don't want you to shame me. Now we're talking. I'm glad that my threats of shaming. I seriously am. I really do want you guys to send me a picture. If it takes like 2 days or something like that, that's fine. But if you win these and you don't send me a picture within like a few days after I see that shipping, I am going to come onto a fucking live stream and be like, yo, straight up, so-and-so disobeyed. Shame, 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 shame. And we're all going to chant shame for like 20 minutes. All right, hold on. Hold your questions, guys. I'm trying to do this giveaway. I want to make sure I get everybody in. I think I have everybody. 661, I don't have you entered. I didn't see that you typed the right thing. Moss1 meant to say I'm good, buddy, on that one. Okay, gotcha. Okay. It sounds like you want to be in on this 661, so I'm going to put you in. All right. Yeah, 661 has a picture. I should fucking make you guys put a picture right now. Oh, that would have been a much better way to do this. Whatever. Whatever. You want to fuck around and find out? Go ahead. If you want me to remove your entry because you think I won't shame you, you just let me know. Mary Bean says I'm an idiot and was feigning these batteries so much. Spent $30 on PayPal. Think I need raffles. Shoot FPV. Oh. Mario Bean sent $30. Sent $30 on PayPal because he thought it was going to be a regular raffle. Mario, go pick $30 and stuff off my... I will absolutely refund you if you want me to, or feel free to go pick $30 worth of stuff off my Etsy store. I'll settle up with you. I explained it early, so it's technically your fault, but still. Craig Meyer with a $30 PayPal. He says, I want to see the healthcare number change. Thank you so much, dude. You shall see it change. There you go. Awesome, dude. Thank you, brother. Very, very cool of you. Shoot FPV says, Mario Beans, I do have you in here. You just one entry, though. Everybody just gets one entry. Shoot FPV says, no, hold on. Just hold your questions, guys. I got to get cut off on all of chat. Yannick says, can you recharge BT 3.0 with the PH 2.0 cable adapter? Yep, I did that for a long time. Kololo says, for the love of God, I've been waiting for these batteries. Kololo, you know the rules, right? You forgot to tag me. So I want to make sure you know the rules. You have to have a build like right now that's waiting for these batteries. If you need me to, and if when these batteries arrive, and I'll see it from the tracking, if I don't have a picture from you within a day or two, I'm going to come on here and I'm going to tell everybody that you didn't play by the rules and it's not cool and we're going to shame the hell out of you. Double says, no, I like the shame component. Driftaholic says, for the love of God, I've been waiting. All right, you guys got like 60 more seconds. Driftaholic. If anybody wants to be removed, let me know. You got to tag me, though. Tag me, let me know that you didn't understand the rules, and this is your only chance. If you win this, and you don't have a build waiting for these, I'm going to trash you. I'm going to post it on Instagram. I'm going to post it on Facebook. I'm going to tell the whole FPV world that you're a bad person. Cinestyles, I already have you on here. You're good. Driftaholic, I have you on here. Mary Bean says, I'll take an ORT antenna and future raffles. Shoot me a message. The dog is sleeping. He's dreaming. I got Coolio. I swear I have a build for these, Kololo says. Okay, cool. I trust you. Cinestyles says I'm out. You want me to remove you, Cinestyles? You didn't understand the rules, right? I'm gonna take you off. All right, we're good. Cinestyles, I'm assuming that you didn't understand the rules. I've just removed you. Yeah, that's the deal. Again, I've been telling people for months how amazing these batteries are. There's a whole bunch of people that have 75mm builds that are just waiting for these batteries, and Jesse's had a hard time getting these batteries back in stock. Don't need. All right, thank you, Cinestyles. See what Cinestyles did there? That's important. That prevents Cinestyles from getting publicly shamed. I swear to God, I will publicly shame you guys. If that's the deal. That's all right. Here we go. I got everybody that typed the thing, that needed to type the thing. I told you guys what you needed to type. Hold on. Let me remove these extra spaces. All right. Here it is. I recognize a bunch of these names, too. I recognize a bunch of these names from the messages that have come through. Coolio's on there. Kololo's on there, top right corner. Ready? Here you guys go. Thanks to Jesse from tinywhoop for sending me extra of these batteries so that we can do it. It's either Technique or Coolio. It's Technique. There it is. Technique, congratulations, brother. You've won the most impossible to find batteries on this earth. There were a lot of people. All right, look, we're gonna do it again. I'm gonna send one of these batteries to one these are going to come back and suck. It's insane how many people have these builds waiting for these batteries. So I'm going to do it again. I'm going to, technique, you're going to get one, and then you're just going to have to charge it and run it, charge it and run it, charge it and run it. I think it makes more sense to do this again, because it looks like there's about a dozen people with builds that are waiting for these batteries. So let's do 1 and 1. All right. So technique, you won this one. Because again, these batteries are coming back in stock sooner than later. So we're going to do 2 people. Tekneek. Technique, if you're not a patron, I need you to message me somewhere with your address. But if you're a patron, I have your address in there, and we're good. How soon is soon? I have absolutely no idea. I'm shocked at how many people have builds waiting for these batteries. So we're going to do play again. That's going to remove technique. And now let's get another one of these out there into the hands of people that have builds with no battery for them. It's Kololo. I think it's Kololo, unless there's another one below the quad. There it is, Kololo. All right, so both of you guys owe me pictures. Colollo. Colollo. Kololo, I don't recognize your name from my Patreon. If you are a patron, your address is in there and I'm good to go. If you're not a patron, what are you doing? Why? No, you don't have to join my Patreon. You should, because it's where all the cool people hang out. But if you're not on my Patreon, I need you to message me with your info. I don't know how to get this to you. CiottiFPV.com has a million ways you can get in touch with me. Link to the Discord, Instagram, wherever. And so there you go. Even better, both of you, here's the answer. Both of you guys need to post pictures of your rigs that you're going to run on these batteries right now over on my Discord. That's how to do this. That's how to do it. Yep. Both of you need to take a picture of the rig that this is going to go on and put it on Discord. I've got another 40 minutes. I will spin this shit again. That's how to do it. That's how to do it. Yeah. Plus, it'll so you're going to put it on my Discord, which is linked on CiottiFPV.com in the general nonsense channel. That's like the main channel. You don't have to be a patron to get into that. Yeah, both of y'all have to do that, or I'm not going to ship these to you. Instant shame. Yeah, that's it. All right, I'm going to scroll back up to the top and get caught up on chat. That'll give you guys some time. Yeah, if there's no picture by the end of the stream of the build that these are going on, I'm going to roll it again. What do you think of that? Oh, I missed a bunch of chat comments. That stinks. Well, if you tag me before 10:30, your chat comment is gone. Feel free to tag me again. BMF Spade says, I have 2 HDZero Mobula 8s. Love them. Very cool. McMucus says, you talked so much crap. You talked so much crap about the Mobula 8 before. I'm not ripping on you, but I just want you to say that you were wrong about your assumptions. Before 04, there are parts of when I used to rip on it that I was wrong about, for sure. But what I seriously think makes this magic is the 04 setup. This 2-inch tinywhoop with analog, I don't get it. First and foremost, because analog cameras are wide field of view, and there's going to be acres of duct in view. And that was the main thing that I was just like, no, the 2-inch whoop is really not necessary because I hate duct in view. And I was very clear about that. So for the record, that was one of the main reasons. And like from a flight characteristic standpoint, I don't like, if you're flying analog, getting kicked around by the wind doesn't really matter as much because it looks like hell anyway. Like, it kind of looks like you're getting kicked around by the wind all the time when analog goes all fuzzy and crazy. A 2-inch rig on like walk snail, yeah, okay, now it makes sense. But like the 04 giving us like really cinematic looking footage, it cements this 2-inch platform because the footage looks so good that if it's getting kicked all around, it matters, right? And like that's what's killing me about this 1.6-inch build. So yes, for sure, I was very hard on 2-inch tiny whoops way back when, but I still think my reasoning behind it was pretty solid. The 04 is really what makes this 2-inch whoop magic. The narrow field of view has no duct in view. That's a big deal. And then the we've got like unbelievably good looking footage coming out of this. And so this being heavier, fighting against the wind, not wobbling all over the place, that's really what kind of sells it. But yeah, there were things that I said before when I was very hard on 2-inch. But I still don't think you should build a 2-inch 2S tiny whoop on analog. I do not agree with that. That's a 1.6-inch deal. But yeah, I came down too hard on them, for sure. McBuki says, I've never flown one, but I definitely listen to you. LOL, I'm not ripping on you, homie. Half-Baked says, my Mobula 804 build rips with the exception of dives. Do you miss with the PIDs much? I have the PIDs turned up a little bit, but not much. The biggest thing that you can do to help with dives is to go props in, actually. So do that. And then the other thing that you want to do is you want to get it off of 96 kilohertz PWM. You will get it on either 48, that's what I have mine on, or 24 will be even better, but you'll sacrifice a little bit of power, a little bit of runtime. Those are the two things that'll help with dives. Mine dives like damn near perfect. Cheatonian says this, parentheses, the wind, is what it's like every time I fly for the last 4 months in Massachusetts. Islander FPV says, did you change the motor limit on the 1.6-inch rig when flying the heavier 450 mAh batteries? I did not. The 450 mAh batteries have so much, like, they hit so hard when you go full throttle that this felt fine from, like, a power to weight ratio perspective on the 450s. I was really impressed. You know, you can go back and watch the video. It had plenty of power. Half-Baked 210 says, Mobula 804 weighs... 47.4 grams. The 1.6-inch rig weighs 34.8 grams. So yeah, 20 gram. Well, not a 20 gram difference dry, but you're gonna run a heavier battery with this than this because it is heavier and it has more powerful motors, right? I mean, well, I have like my favorite combos. The Flywheel 420 mAh battery with the Mobula 8, you've got an all-up weight of 68.8, call it 69 because I'm 8 years old. So 69 all up, and then my favorite battery on the 1.6-inch rig is the little 300s, and that puts it at 49.9 grams. So 69 and 49. 20 gram weight difference. They fly very different. But like I talked about earlier, boy, am I having fun with the 2-inch build. Technique and Coolio. Let's see those pictures of the rigs. You can email them to me. You can put. I really want you to post them in Discord in the general nonsense text channel. You got like 30 more minutes. I gotta get caught up on chat though. Render says, what rates expo would you run on a rig like this? On a rig like what? What's this? The 2-inch 04 outside. Same exact rates that I run. You should not have separate rates for any of your rigs. You should run the same rates on everything. In terms of throttle expo, that's a pretty personal kind of thing. That really depends on how you're gonna fly. If you're gonna fly it like very dynamic, like very slow, sometimes very fast, other times, you really don't want much throttle expo. Maybe like the amount, like 20 for the amount, and then the midpoint is the midpoint. If you're gonna like if you're going to fly the same speed all the time, then you can crank the amount up to like 30 or 40. Everybody's posting clocks in the general nonsense. Craig says, what's the all-up price for the Mobula 8 with DJI 04 and goggles? Oh, God. I mean, the goggles are what, like $450, $500? And then the build itself is going to be... I don't know if you can buy it yet, but it's probably going to be at least like $250. So yeah, $700-800 all said and done, probably. Yannick says, just bought the yellow at Pyro with your affiliate. Thank you, dude. Porky... It's a good gif. TikTok, motherfucker. Oh no, mother rucka. Porky Chop says, I added a LDARC 199C camera to my 75mm build. It is a great camera, but have lost my OSD and Betaflight logo when I load. Any ideas? Thanks so much. The switching a camera should not affect OSD at all on analog. The camera outputs video. Well, it's a PAL versus NTSC issue. You've switched your camera and you've gone from either a PAL camera to NTSC or an NTSC camera to PAL. You need to fix that in the OSD. There you go. That's your problem. Mick Buca says, any advice for 2 BT 2.0 maintenance? I've been running that for a while. It seems to be hammering my batteries. Yeah, that is one of the main reasons that I don't like doing the double 1S battery thing, is that you kind of have to pair your batteries, because if you put one battery in with really high internal resistance and one battery in with very low internal resistance, they're mismatched in a way that's like not good, and it's gonna so you almost like want to take a marker or like you want to like pair the batteries up, and like green. You always run those two batteries together. Yeah. That's why I don't necessarily recommend doing that. Mary Bean said, oh no, we got that. Got this. Okay, so I am relatively caught up on chat, other than the half an hour messages that I lost. All right, getting down towards the bottom. Look at this. Technique just posted and says, was hoping to give my win to Great Scott. I'm sure that that's in the chat, but I'd scrolled up in the chat. I think I'm caught up. There. Good. Pictures in Discord. Okay. Waiting for these batteries. Yeah, there it is. Technique says, my win goes to Great Scott. Look at this guy. Cool. All right, so we got one. Where's Coolio? Oh man, YouTube just scrolled me to the bottom. Hold on. All right, so I'm gonna write Great Scott on here. Hey, Scott. All right. I think, was Great Scott the one that posted the picture already? Nope, 661 posted the picture. So Great Scott, you got to post a picture in Discord or email it to me. Yannick says, it's your fault you've been on 75mm 2S for a month now. Cjo says, did I wean anything? No. Coolio and Great Scott did. Well, Technique did, but he gave it to Great Scott. Yannick says yes. Moss1 says, I think Ciolo is a burner account. Mario Bean's putting a cool picture in General Nonsense of his little fleet there. Very cool. Yannick says instant shame. Moss1 says, good thing I'm on West Coast. It's only 8:30. Render says, what rates / expo on that 2-inch rig outside? Anything different from the other freestyle rigs? Nope. Nope. Same rigs. Same rates. Keep your rates the same, friends. Yannick says, shall I solder the XT30 and buy Tattu X30 to wait on my tinywhoop order? Yeah, I mean, that's one way to get around it. The XT30 is not that big of a weight penalty. I will say that, and it does open you up to a lot of other motors. I don't see Kololo posting in the chat, so, and I don't recognize that name. So he either realized that he got burned here, or he could be scrambling to take a picture of the build and send it to me. I'm gonna give him 10 more minutes. At 11:40, I'm gonna respin for Kololo. So if you're still listening, brother, you need to say something in chat. Tag me in chat and say, hold on. I'm trying to find a camera or something like that. Max says Ovonic makes decent. Oh yeah, hey, somebody just sent me in general nonsense. Somebody posted a picture. Ovonic has BT3.0 2S 450 mAh batteries. If you're gonna get that, I would maybe just get the tinywhoop ones, because we know that these are folded cell. We don't know if the Ovonics are folded cell. Also, I think I saw somebody say that these are lighter, and these should still be in stock. These tinywhoop 450s. But at some point, if they go out of stock, then Kololo says, hold on. Okay, cool. Yeah, Kololo might also like need to be figuring out how to join my Discord. There's a link over on CiottiFPV. So we're going to give him some time. But Great Scott, you need to be getting that camera out as well. Camera, as if anybody has a camera. You got to be getting your camera phone out. Camera phone. As opposed to the non-camera phones that exist in 2025. Max says, Ovonic makes decent folded 100C 300 mAh 2S. I've converted 12 of them to BT 3.0. My God. Final weight 16.4 grams. Ooh, let's see what that weight is compared to the tinywhoop ones. The conversion is not that hard. It's not that easy either, but it's not that hard. The tinywhoops are 15.2. So a little tiny bit lighter, but I mean, yeah. Get about 45 minutes on analog 75mm and about 3 or 4 minutes on digital 75 solid packs. They're probably the same. They're probably the same batteries. They're probably being made in the same spot. Maybe not, but. ShootFPV says, is there a good bind and fly 1S or build with the 04? You do not want 1S with the 04. The 04 system is too heavy. Is it best to stay 2S? Yeah, you really want to go 2S. Would love to get something with 04 for inside, but want it to be nice to fly. Yeah, so here's the long and short of it, right? Flying inside, the additional the improvement in the improvement in image quality of digital systems doesn't really do anything for flying inside. When you're flying inside, your couch is always going to be in the same spot. The gate that you hang from the ceiling is always going to be in the same spot. Your shelving unit is always going to be in the same spot, right? And so, like, being able to see where you're going, which is what you get from digital versus analog, right? It doesn't really help. Does it make your flight footage look a little bit better? Sure. Who's watching your flight footage, though, right? Like, if you have a YouTube channel with a viewership and, like, it's important to them that your image quality looks good, sure. Most people don't have that, though, right? Like, and so, like, showing your significant other or your buddy your flight footage that's in HD versus analog, they don't give a shit. They don't want to watch it anyway. Not to mention that the extra... So what makes indoor freestyle flight footage really watchable and really good is you doing bigger stuff. You crashing less, you doing bigger power loops, you doing Matty flips. To do all of that stuff, the weight savings of analog is it changes everything. A tinywhoop that you're gonna fly indoor, to be able to do the really cool shit, it has to be analog. It has to be super lightweight. And so for a rig that you're gonna fly inside, 04 just doesn't make sense. Kololo says, I don't think I'll make it home in time. Sorry, just give it to somebody else. Kololo, what's the full build? Type out the full build. Don't crash your car into something. But type out the full build. And then when you get home, put a picture in. I'm not going to ship it tonight. And so you've got the rest of the night. I would love to do it for the live stream, but like if you're on the way home, I'm not going to punish you for that. It's all good. But if you can, type out the full build, and that's pretty much proof for the live stream chat. But then you still got to post that picture. Great Scott, you got to post it too. I haven't seen it yet, unless you have a different name on Discord. Great Scott, if you have a different name on Discord, let me know, because a bunch of people have posted their quads. Tag me, Great Scott. I don't see you in the chat. Maybe you're scrambling to find that camera phone. So yeah, that's kind of the deal. A 1S indoor 04 build is going to abuse your batteries. It's not going to fly all that well. It's going to be like a tinywhoop, basically, and like that's not the fun of flying inside the house. Inside the house is analog, hands down. Like that's just where you want to be. Also, like the extra 8 grams of 04, you're going to like smash into stuff and it's going to explode. Like it's not a great idea. Inside the house, you want to be like sub 20 grams dry, and there's just no way to do that with 04. So yeah. All that being said, BetaFPV does have an 04 1S build. A bunch of people have reviewed it, and they all say similar stuff to what I'm telling you right now. And so yeah, there's that. I don't recommend it. If you want my full thoughts on it, all you got to do is go to my channel and look for my walk snail 1S builds. I spent tons of time trying to get walk snail builds, which are 1 gram lighter than 04 builds. So click the little magnifying glass here, search for 1S walk snail, and there's a whole bunch of live streams. Not the Mobula 7. You want like this Willis 60. This is probably the perfect live stream for you right here. Willis 65mm walk snail build rip. This is probably the freestyle. I specifically built a freestyle 1S walk snail rig with the lightest but most powerful motors. Like my full setup that flies unbelievable on analog. And at the end of the day, the delay, here's the other thing, the extra latency of these digital systems makes flying inside the house so difficult. And so like between the latency, the extra weight, it hammers your batteries. It's so heavy that it's hard to change directions. It's not the way to go. If you only have 04 goggles and you don't want to buy analog goggles, I can start to maybe kind of understand it, but you're still doing yourself a disservice not flying analog inside the house. It's worth snagging a set of used cheap analog goggles and then knocking out like $100 analog 1S 65mm build. That will be so much better. You will have so much more fun. You will break so much less of your personal belongings or the people you live with's belongings. It's really, really, really the way to go. That's probably not the answer that you want, but it's the answer that you need. Make sense? But if you're dead set on a 1S 04 build, BetaFPV has a bind and fly, I would just go that route. And then like you can maybe change the motors over. But it's gonna have the canopy. It's gonna have the canopy that you can use Rocksteady on. It's gonna have the only AIO that'll drive the 04. The frame is gonna be okay. The motors will be fine. And then down the road, it'll have BT3.0, so it's got like the majority of the stuff that you want anyway. And then like maybe down the road you do a motor swap, but yeah, or when the down the road you would want to do the Happy Model canopy as well to save some weight, but you can't buy that canopy yet anyway, so you might as well just get that bind and fly. Yannick says the Lava 550 BT3.0 folded is 29 grams. That's heavy. and that's going to run forever. 552S, Jesus. OrfFPV says, do you think we'll reach a point where most 2, 3, and 4S batteries will be folded cell? I hope so, because, man, folded cell batteries are unbelievable on tinywhoops. I suspect that the bigger batteries don't need to be folded cell, but it would be nice if all the batteries were folded cell, because it's pretty obvious that that gives you more capacity for the same weight. Question 2, do you know how to ship US FPV stuff to Southeast Asia? Does tinywhoop ship? I have no idea, to be honest, but just ask them. Kololo, type out your build in the chat, or I am gonna respin. Moss1 says, what's swing dancing? I don't really know how to answer that. I've kind of fallen in love with West Coast swing, which is a really, really cool form of couples dancing. I will drop a quick... I don't know. So these are... Oh, here you go. This is actually one of my favorites from... I can't show this, but I will drop this link in chat. These are two of the best. This is what high-level West Coast swing looks like. Link in the chat. Click it. It has me... FPV is no longer a hobby. I don't want video games to be like my hobby. They're a little bit too addictive and a little bit too like sedentary. So a little over a year ago, Maggie and I started going to couples dance classes at a pub, a bar by us, and it was super fun. Communicating without talking and just moving my body around. And the instructor there turned me on to West Coast swing as a specific dance style. This class was like totally generic, beginner's basics couples dancing. So like how to stand, how to, open position, closed position, outside turn, inside turn, super basic stuff, which you do in like all different dance forms. And then when it might have been that actual exact video that I just posted in chat was sent to me, I was like, dude, that's just too fucking cool. What's that? And then I started doing West Coast swing, and it's just super fun. It's, it's a hobby that is almost free. Like you pay for like dance classes. So like you help someone else, you give someone else money to teach you things, which like, I don't even really, cause like, you can't spend tons of money doing that. It's cheap. It's incredibly cheap. And then you just buy a pair of shoes and then you're good to go. But it's got me like moving my body. It's got me actually exercising, to the point now where like I'm starting to put weight on. Like I've gained almost 10 pounds of muscle in the last couple of months. It doesn't show because I'm so fucking skinny, but Maggie can certainly see it. No, Great Scott. Stripped 2 motor screws trembling. Take a picture of the pile of parts, Great Scott. It's all good. Just take a picture of the pile of parts, whatever. I just want to make sure that you guys have it. It doesn't have to be together, but when these batteries arrive, I want you to be able to fly them. I don't want it to be a situation where you're like placing a tinywhoop order to get the thing. Sorry, I didn't want you to strip shit out when you're this is a fun game though. I like this. So yeah, it's been incredible for me. It's been great for my mental health. It's been, yeah, really, really, really cool. Thrash FPV says that I missed something. Posted quads for what? We did a giveaway, Thrash, for the impossible to find 300 mAh BT3.0 2S tinywhoop batteries. Last one says, thanks, buddy. Just asking for his take. Whose take? Who's his? Shoot FPV says, guess HDZero for whoops. So the HDZero AIO 5 is realistically the only way to do digital. I don't really consider HDZero digital, but I guess it is. Digital inside the house. I still think analog is the way to go, though, because it's a lot cheaper, it's a lot more durable, the goggles are a lot less expensive, and it is still quite a bit lighter. But if you don't have analog goggles and you do have HDZero goggles, absolutely an HDZero indoor 1S 65 millimeter. It's not going to be as good. Like, there's a definite difference between that and an analog rig because of the weight, but it's good enough. You don't have the latency of digital. You don't have like 6 or 7 extra grams. It's like 2 extra grams or so. So it's totally viable. Yannick says, any follow-up on your testing of the Matrix 1S AIO? You mean the one that just showed up today? Nah. Oh, the analog one? Yeah, it's been super solid. I haven't put tons of batteries through it. I've probably put maybe 30 or 40 batteries through it, but it's been completely fine. Has anybody else put like 100 batteries through the analog Matrix 1S Beta FPV AO? Tag Yannick in chat if you have. Render says, I saw a video that showed higher end 4S and 6S have the same construction as the Newbie Drone 1. That's very cool. Very, very cool. Render says, Chris Rosser's video, what's inside a LiPo battery? Oh, really? Okay. Fair enough. Apparently I didn't watch that video. I watched most of his stuff. Cheetonian says, been putting on that booty muscle magnetos of sure. No, it's all up here. It's my upper. So with West Coast Swing, it cranks your upper back. You are pulling and pushing as a lead. You are pulling and pushing your follow to create like this tension between you, and you want to have this tension so that if one person moves, the other moves right away. And so like all through here is like just tensed up, like loose but tense, and so it just hammers on your upper back. So I've been doing loads of push-ups and upper back specific stuff, and pull-ups, chin-ups, and then just like other random stuff when I can. And then Costco actually had a big old barrel of creatine supplement, which I got, and then I have a bunch of pea protein. I can't process any of the other protein powders because they have that whey and eggs and all that shit in it. And so yeah, it's been really cool. I've a bunch of times in my life I have exercised and worked out to try to gain weight, and it's been a complete fail. I didn't realize that there was pea protein powder. And the other protein powders would just ruin my stomach. And so I wasn't able to get like enough protein. When I was doing it, I would just eat as much, like I would eat as much meat and protein based shit as I possibly could. And I never went down like the creatine route. And I would do it for a few months and I would see like no results. I would get stronger, but like I wouldn't see any actual results, and I would just say to hell with it. This time I can actually see it, which is where the motive. I've been doing it long enough where like actually being able to see it and like Maggie calling it out, that gave me the motivation that I've needed to like actually keep going, right? Like, you know, all the people that join a gym on January 1st and then at some point in February give up because they can't see the actual results, you know? Like you do something that you don't want to do for long. You pick up heavy things and put them back down for a couple of months, and if you see no benefit, it's like, this is annoying. I don't want to keep doing this. But if you can actually see something is happening, it's just like, oh shit, there's the carrot on the string. So, where was I at in chat here? All right, still waiting on Great Scott to post that picture of his pile of parts. Ah, there it is. All right, so what do we got? Where's the BT 3.0? I believe him. Great Scott's been around a long time. There it is. What is that, a X12? Looks like an X12. Yeah, that's an X12. All right. Kololo. I think we're re-rolling Kololos because we need all I asked him for was a list of the parts in chat, and I don't have it yet. And it's 11:50. So Kololo, sorry, brother. I don't recognize your name. You're definitely not one of the people that's messaged me, been like, "Yo, you told me to do this build, god damn it." And yeah, I hope you're not like driving your car, which is why you couldn't post a list of parts. But you know, it's been 15 minutes. You could have, in theory, you could have pulled over and just typed it into the chat real quick. I feel like I gave you a chance, and it's something for free, so hopefully you don't get too pissed. But I am going to re-roll it. Sorry, brother. Let me get caught up on chat real quick, though. Morton Upshot says, only have 8 batteries through mine before I lost an ESC on the Matrix. That's not great. I'm assuming the antenna slammed to the FETs. Yeah, it's hard. Talha says, how to change throttle hover point. Typically what you want to do is change the mechanical system. Go with more or less powerful motors. You can technically, or change your all-up weight. You can technically move it a little bit with throttle expo, but it's not a great idea to do that. Morton Upshots, we got that. Drunzen says, missed a chance to win BT3.0 batteries. Checking every day. Jesse said there's a shipment inbound. Yep, they're coming. Moss One says, good stuff, buddy. Build your way up with reps. Don't burn yourself out going hard quick. Yeah, I do too little. I wish I had more time to do more. But Yannick says, go for 20 grams of protein for breakfast. Start your day. 3 eggs. Can't do eggs. 4 slices of turkey chicken. Can't really do chicken. Yeah, I do what I can, but it's not. I can't go like completely insane. I don't have the patience for it. But Moss One says, same here because of my goal this year is to learn some dance. Very cool, dude. Moss One saying something super important, or do something out of my normal zone. Right, learning to dance was completely out of my comfort zone. It really helped that like I had Maggie to kind of hide behind, but one of the big reasons that I did, oh you bastard Cannon. One of the big reasons that I did it is that I wanted to push myself way outside of my comfort zone and do something hard. And it has been hard, and sometimes it is like horrifying, and like I look like an idiot. But like in life, we got to do hard shit sometimes. And this has been like a huge opportunity to do that, and I've put a whole bunch of time into it, and I'm starting to not look like an idiot now, and that's like awesome. And so yeah, that's been cool. Thrash FPV says, did you feel self-conscious about dance? I still do. I want to learn, but I'm so self-conscious I feel like I'm gonna get judged. You are gonna get judged, but you're gonna get judged by people that looked just as dumb as you. The dance community is pretty fucking cool. They have all looked just as bad as you, and like, you know what I mean? And like there's going to be other people that are just starting when you're just starting. So there will be plenty of other people that look terrible. There are also there are also a good amount of people in the dance community that just never get it, and they kind of always look bad. And so there will be people that are like many months in that will look just as bad. And so there will be no shortage of people that are, yeah, in looking just as silly. But it's, yeah, you're going to feel super self-conscious. That's important. It is important to feel self-conscious sometimes. It is important to feel that, to have that feeling and to push through it, because there are really cool things in life that you won't do because of that fear, that if you push past that fear, you will really enjoy. And so it's a super important thing to in life. And for me, the older I get, the less of that shit that I do. The more set in my ways, the more in a rut I get, the more I just go with the easy stuff. And when you just keep going with the easy stuff, you're missing out on a bunch of weird shit that you might really love. Like food is that way, right? Like there is so much food from around the world that none of us have tried because like maybe crickets are the best tasting thing on earth to your specific palate, but it's so disgusting. I ain't eating the fucking things, but right, like there are a ton of things in life that could be so amazing, but like we can't get over something about it, our own fear, the weirdness, the grossness, whatever. And so like pushing ourselves out of our comfort zone, especially as we get older, if you're anything like me, is like you got to do it. You got to do it because there's stuff that you haven't done that's awesome out there. I'm going to re-roll this because, yeah, I want to get these to one of you guys. And I'm just going to leave exactly who was on here. Ready? We're going to go play again. Somebody is going to have to scramble to, at the very least, drop their build into the chat, or hopefully post a picture of it. It's 661. 661 already did it though, didn't he? 661 I think was the first one. He knew what was going to happen. I think he was the first one. Yep, there it is. It's 661 and it's Great Scott. Sorry, Kololo. I gave you as much time as I possibly could. 661, I'm pretty sure I have your address on Patreon. It's all yours, brother. All right, cool. Where's that in chat here? Render says my 3.5 inch, finally I got the feeling I like from a quad. Went from 17% hover point to around 28 with 75% expo, 43 on dynamic idle, lol. The other way to move the hover point is to motor limit. If the hover point is too low, you can put a motor limit or a throttle limit and that'll raise it up. Yannick says, is that like salsa dancing? Where the male-female ratio is skewed, and as a guy, you dance nonstop. Help to meet someone or gain confidence when the woman asks you to dance. So the male-to-female ratio is all over the place. There are nights where there are way more men than women. There are nights where there are way more women than men. And so, yeah, it's a total crapshoot. Sometimes, like, the place that you go will always have more men than women or more women than men. Look, if any of you guys are single, too, holy shit, get the hell out and start to learn to couples dance. You will meet people in the classes. You'll meet lots of people in the classes. And then you will meet people when you go out and dance. It's a cheat code for sure. Go to a place and pay a couple of dollars to stare into the eyes of and get a little handsy, hand on hand and like hand on shoulder with a bunch of women. All right? You want a cheat code for meeting women? There you go. Not to mention that once you've learned how to dance and you go to a place with music on, you'll be able to dance. And guess who women like? The guys that can dance. Salsa dancing is fun. I've learned a little bit of salsa dancing. I don't love the music. One of the things I love most about West Coast Swing is the music is awesome. Latin dancing is very fun, but after like a half an hour of Latin music, which is interesting because I used to play Latin music as a drummer. But like Latin music at a club, like blasting loud for more than a half an hour, I need a break. West Coast Swing has, it fits to all kinds of different music that's like super listenable. The End of the Trouble says, big difference between judging and critique. Yeah, very true. Judging is bad, wanted intelligent, helpful critique is awesome for growth. Yeah, one of the cool things in the dancing community is they ask before they give feedback. Well, in most cases. And because there are people that just don't care necessarily about getting better. They're just there to like dance and have a good time. And so there's like an unwritten rule of like, if you dance with someone and you have something valuable to tell them at the end of it or during, like, you don't just tell them, you like say like, hey, do you want a little bit of feedback? And if they say yes, it's cool. If they say no, you're like, awesome, love that. I mean, that's because it's, you know, it's sometimes a little bit awkward to kind of give feedback. And like, also, it's cool to just not, I wish I had the ability to not care about getting better at stuff, you know? That's where the true fun is. Yannick says, by the way, sorry to ask again, but I'm about to put an order in. Do you recommend the LiteAF in white? But is that the white or the jade white? The oh, I forget. Buy one of each. You'll want an extra frame. I think the jade white is the clear. I believe the jade white is the clear and the white is the opaque white. But just get them both. Render says, but I want to go to the moon. This little thing flies like a 5-inch. 4 houses over. T-minus 1 second. Denzel the Terrible says, CiottiFPV knows he just goes to touch multiple women. Yeah, that's like the joke. Like, I'm gonna go touch a bunch of women. Drunzen says, I'm way too fat to dance. LMAO, jiggle, jiggle, jiggle. No such thing, man. Here's one of the most famous West Coast swing dancers of all time, John Lindo. This dude shreds. 2.4 million views. Here you go, dude. Link in chat. Get your ass out. Nothing's stopping you, man. That's one of the... He is like one of, if not the most well-known West Coast swing dancers of all time. And he is a big dude. Get on out and move around. Morton Upshot says, that's a great description of why you prefer one over the other. No value, but a critique of an energy level. In reference to the music, I think is what you're saying, right? Yeah, big guys can dance. Especially as a lead. Here's the cool thing about dancing. As a lead, you don't have to move that much. And like, nobody's really looking at you. Everybody's looking at the cute follows. They're doing all the cool movements, and usually they're female. And so like, as a lead, you're just there to kind of lead the follow around. And so yeah, dance is pretty cool. And having a solid base as a lead is actually really valuable. One of the problems that I have is I'm so light. You know, like, I'm only 150 something pounds. And so if I'm with a follow that's like really muscly, I'll have to really use every pound that I have to not, because like, as a lead, again, you want to be like a solid base. Swing versus Latin. Yeah, sure. Dancing's fun, yo. If you've ever had any even remote, like, if you've ever been at like a dance and been like, oh man, I wish I knew how to dance, get your ass out and do it. I didn't go to many dances growing up, but the dances that I went to, and I've always loved music, I every time it would be like, man, I really wish that I knew how to dance, and I just never did. All I had to do was go do it. All I had to do was type into Google. Well, back then there wasn't Google, but you know what I'm saying. Like, I just had to go do it, and I never did. And I wish that I had. I really, really, really wish that I had earlier in life. And so, if you've ever had that feeling, or if you just want a way to, you know, move your body around and/or meet women and/or get back in, have something to push you to get in shape, it's a great way of doing it. And it's a really cool community. It's a very liberal, very intelligent community of people that are looking for human connection. I've met some the community of people in the dance world. It's one of the best communities that I've ever found. yeah, it's a really, really, really cool group of people. Moss One says, well, my cat knows I can dance. That's all that matters. All right, guys, it's after midnight. I'll see you all on Friday. Kind of an all over the place live stream tonight, but I'm super psyched that these batteries are going to 2 people that have been waiting for them. So congrats to both of you guys that won these. I have both of your images. If either one of you are not on Patreon, message me with your info. Otherwise, I should have everything I need. Be good, friends. Again, huge shout out to Jesse from tinywhoop for sending me extra of these so that I could actually do this. He doesn't know that I'm doing this. He sent these to me for me to use for testing, but he didn't realize that I already had a couple of these batteries. And I thought that, you know, it would be better for me to share the wealth a little bit. Love you, bye! See you Wednesday. Here's the 2-inch build blasting around in like 20-mile-an-hour wind again. Same as the beginning of the stream. Oh wait, no. Here's the goggle DVR from it. Get over here. It would be this file. Here you go, friends. See you Friday. Thanks for hanging. CiottiFPV. Oh, I forgot to shill. CiottiFPV.com to support me. These goggles were going dead. Later.